Hello students, this is Effective Technical Communication class and I am Professor Uma Joshi. In our last lecture, we talked about technical reports, and today, in continuation with the same chapter about technical writing, we are going to talk about technical proposals. So what are technical proposals? Technical proposals are written for something in the future. Now, if you want to give some plan or suggestion to someone and you want to convince them, then you will have to write technical proposals. Usually proposals are written to convince the readers of the proposals, or if you are presenting them, then the audience of your proposals. Now let me break the myth. Proposals are not only required to be written by the marketing professionals or the sales professionals. Actually, in the course of your professional life, many times you will also require to write technical proposals even if you are not in marketing. So let us say, for an example, as a student, every day when you come to the college, you see that people are parking their vehicles haphazardly because there is less space and organized space is not available for parking. And not only that, those who come late, they put their vehicles the way they want to or wherever they find space. And then this hinders the way of people who would like to leave earlier. So this creates a lot of chaos every day in the morning as well as at the end of the day while you are leaving the college. So something in your mind occurred that something needs to be done about this problem. And maybe you or with your friend you decided that let us allot particular space for every parking, and you also have planned to give spaces to each four-wheeler as well as two-wheeler and put some boards which may direct the people to the parking. Now to do this, you will require a lot of resources. Resources like manpower as well as some kind of finance, because you need some boards or you may need some paints or anything. So as a student, you cannot just start off this project. You will require the permission of your principal. So for this, again, you will have to write a proposal. Now after reading that proposal, your principal must be convinced to give you those resources and to permit you to carry out this project. Now if you want to do this, then think what you need to write in the proposal or what kind of tone the proposal must carry. So to understand that, first of all, let us understand the objectives of the technical proposals. Now, first of all, the technical proposals are written to convince for collaboration. So now this particularly is written by people into marketing department and also in the technical departments, because we are talking about business collaboration. So if you want to expand your business and you want to collaborate with some other organization, then you will have to put a proposal in front of that organization so that you can show them that this collaboration will be profitable to both of you. Proposals are also written to persuade the customers. So suppose you have come up with a new product or a service, then you will have to show it to your customers, saying that how useful or advantageous they are to the customers. Proposals are also used to suggest solution. So like in the example that I gave you, it was a solution to a problem. Now from that example, you may imagine that in organization there may be many such problems which may come up. So even in professional life, even if you are not in a marketing or a sales department, still you may have to write proposals. Proposals are also used to suggest innovative products. So now imagine that you are working in an organization and your organization has a product which is doing well in the market, but there are other competitors also. Now, suppose you have an idea to give something innovative to this product, then you may write your suggestion in a form of a technical proposal so that you can convince your managing director or a CEO or a manager so that that innovative idea can be implemented and you can come up with a new product so that you can expand the market share. Also, technical proposals are written to give suggestions about innovative processes. So now again, if you are working in an organization, then there will be many processes that you may follow to carry out your activities. Now every process may have its own efficiency and effectiveness. But after a point of time, when you carry out these processes, you have realized that some improvisation is required, then you may write a technical proposal and give it to your manager or your managing director so that you can implement those innovative processes or those small changes in the process which will help in efficient and effective work. So these are the objectives of technical proposals. Now, because we know that proposals are written to convince others, we need to take extra care in writing them because we really have some desired result behind this proposal. So what are the characteristics of a technical proposal which makes them effective? So first of all, the technical proposals must look neat, attractive and interesting so that those who read them would actually like to read them, and neatness will give clarity to your technical proposal. In fact, this is also applicable to any kind of business communication, but an extra care needs to be taken when we write a technical proposal. Now, next characteristic that we have to take care is that we have to write in a proper format, which is in a sequence. Now, writing in a proper format helps in giving neatness to the document and it also helps in giving the clarity. And if anything is in a sequence, then the document will become more comprehensible. So it is important that technical proposals should be arranged in a particular sequence and always written in a proper format. Now the next characteristic is that it should have a convincing tone. Now convincing tone means use of such words which shows your confidence on your plan. It shows that you have already done some background work and that is why you are confident that the plan that you are proposing will actually bring fruitful outcomes. So the proposal should have this convincing tone. Now the most important thing about technical proposals is that you must always focus on the reader's needs. Now readers here means whoever are the recipients or the customers or whoever you want to convince about your proposal. So if you keep their needs in mind, then it is obvious the readers will be convinced about your proposals. Now the next element or the characteristic of the technical proposal is that it should be backed by concrete actions. So first of all, we have said that proposals are something about the future. That means that in the proposal, we are also going to promise certain actions to our recipients. So when we do any technical proposal, then we must make sure that after the proposal is given, we also follow through the concrete actions that will actually lead the recipients or the readers of your proposal to be convinced about it, and they will sign the collaboration, or maybe they will use your products, or they will permit you to carry out your suggestions. And lastly, the technical proposals must be clear, concise, coherent and factual. That is, they should be based on facts and not imaginations. So now, having seen these characteristics of the technical proposals, let us move on to the formats of technical proposals. Now all the formats of technical proposals are same as that of technical reports. So here I am not going to discuss all of them in detail. And in technical proposals, we won't have the pre-printed format that we used to have in the technical reports. So the first format is the letter format. So just like the technical report, the proposal that we put outside the organization is written in a letter format. Then we have the memo format. So the memo format is written to give suggestions within the organization. And lastly, the longer proposal, which is written in the manuscript format. Now the manuscript format also has many different pages, just like the manuscript format of the technical reports, but there are certain pages that have to be omitted in the proposals. So we will not be discussing all of them in detail. If you want to see the detail about all these formats, then go to the video about the report writing formats and you will get all the formats over there. So here we will be now discussing what all different pages are included in the manuscript format. So first of all, there is a cover page, just like the technical report. So it is also written in the middle of the page. It is centrally justified. It has the title, the name of the person who has prepared the proposal is written, organization name is there, and then the date is there. Next is the title page. Here you will also write to whom you are submitting this proposal. Then we have the letter of transmittal. So as you know, that letter of transmittal is a direct address to the readers where you are trying to clarify your objectives of the proposal. After that, we have acknowledgements. Now in proposals, if there are any acknowledgements, then you may write, otherwise you may omit this page. Actually, acknowledgements are more relevant for the research reports rather than any other types of reports or proposals. So now next we have the table of contents. Now table of contents is a list of all topics along with their page numbers and arranged in a sequence. Then we have the abstract, which is the brief idea about the proposal. After that, we have executive summary. The executive summary is actually the entire proposal in a nutshell and which is longer than the abstract. Then we have the problem statement. Now in reports we used to have the introduction where we used to write the background, but here we are writing a proposal. So in a proposal, actually the introduction is nothing but the problem statement, because we always write a proposal so that we want to do something new or to bring about some change. So why we want to bring about that change? Because there is some issue or some problem, or you want to improve something, you want to do something which is better, and that is why we have to define a particular problem statement. Then we have the proposed plan and the schedule. This is a very important part of a proposal, because here you will give that what exactly you are going to do, and you will also give the schedule that by what time you will finish off every step of your plan. So this is a very important part of a proposal. After that, you will write the advantages. Advantages of implementing this proposal, that what all things will be improved if you implement this proposal. After the advantages, there are disadvantages, if any. Now you will think that technical proposals are written to convince people, then why we are writing the disadvantages? But understand one thing, every plan or every product or process may have some scope of improvement, and that is why continuous innovations happen in the world. So saying that there are no disadvantages may be something like as if we are lying. But then if there is a perfection, there is no need to write down about the disadvantages. Now again, writing about the disadvantages also shows your honesty. It shows that you have solved the problem to a very high extent, but there is still some disadvantage to it. Now we all know that we may accept certain new proposals to solve our problems, even though they may have some disadvantages, because they are of not importance. So that is why we include the disadvantages. So till here your main body is over. So the next is the appendix. Now we all know, like in the technical reports, if we have to include certain figures or graphs or diagrams, then we will put them at the end of the report. So in the proposal also, we will put it at the end of the proposal, and we will call them as Appendix A, Appendix B, Appendix C, and so on. After the appendix, we have the index. So again, you know that index is a list of all topics, subtopics, and keywords which are arranged in alphabetical order, and they are given with the page numbers. So this is all about the manuscript format of the technical proposals. I hope you have understood everything about technical proposals and how to write them down. And I hope you will be able to imagine what kind of technical proposals you will have to write in your area, in your professional lives, and then implement these learnings and write effective technical proposals. Thank you.